So a little story for you. My dad and my mom were professional musicians. My dad was at one time considered one of the top 5 baritone sax players in the country. And my mom and dad had a dance band orchestra, and they would play professionally. And in fact, my dad's uncle taught him to play clarinet, and my dad's uncle was first chair clarinet with the John Philip Sousa Orchestra. So I come from a long line of musicians. But, and then when I was a kid, I learned how to play clarinet. And I played clarinet from starting at about the age of 3, I was introduced to it, and played up until I was about 25. And then I set it down for a number of years. I started playing again right at the time of COVID, because when the lockdown came, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with myself with all those hours? And so I started practicing for a while there. And then things got busy and I stopped practicing. And so we're going to do a little experiment here. I put my clarinet together. I haven't played it for about 2 years now or so. So let's just see what it sounds like with no warm-up. So not too bad. But it would sound a lot better if I had practiced, right? And so how does this relate to dog training? Because, you know, I'm a professional dog trainer. People expect too much of their dogs. They say, well, my dog comes from a certain kind of a breed, so it should be able to do these kinds of things. Just like I come from a family of musicians, I should be able to play professionally today, right? No. Because even if you got a well-bred dog, or it has certain kinds of skills, whether it was purebred or mixed bred, if that dog's never had a chance to utilize those skills and never practiced them to some kind of proficiency, you can't expect much from them. And so I take all those years of experience that I have had of playing an instrument, and I use that in teaching dog training to my students and to the dogs. It takes practice, it takes diligence, and there is no way to otherwise get around it. During COVID, I was practicing about an hour a day. And over that time, I started getting better and better. I started getting back some of the old skills that I had. But it still wasn't back to the way I could play when I was 25. And so people expect too much of their dogs. They get a dog, and then they start treating it as though it's a trained adult dog when it's just a little puppy. Doesn't know how to potty outside, so they get mad at the dog. The dog chews on a slipper and they spank the dog. They tell the dog to sit, it doesn't sit, and they reprimand the dog. None of that's fair to the dog. If the dog was trained, then all that stuff would go effortlessly. But you got to practice with a dog, just like I have to practice with a musical instrument in order to get good at it. So I would recommend that we set up some lessons. And let's start playing that musical instrument, that little fluffy puppy of yours. And let's get your dog to have some level of proficiency so it's easy. And so just like my clarinet should sound like music that you want to hear, that your dog looks like something that people come up to you and say, whoa, I wish my dog could do that. Because that's when you really know that you've crossed that line and your dog really now is being all that you wanted your dog to be. So anyway, have a great day. Let's set up some lessons, whether it's for behavior problems or for obedience, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.